welcome back to another episode of Katsadda. And today we have Mr. Eric Chan. He is a non-resident research fellow at Global Taiwan Institute, and he is also the senior Korea and China strategist at the US Air Force Checkmate Directorate. Thank you, Mr. Chan, for doing this with us. There has been much talked and discussed about Taiwan Strait, but how is it Taiwan relevant to India's defense or Taiwan's defense to India? Over to you.
Thanks. So there's been a lot of talk recently about Taiwan's potential fall. What would it mean for the world? What would it mean for the US? What would it mean for India? So Pacific Forum recently wrote a whole publication about this scenario. And there's, in fact, even an article about India's thinking after the fall of Taiwan. I think a lot of people really underestimate the impact that the fall of Taiwan would have on India's defense and on India's economy. All right, and I'll give you a quick example. Right now, Taiwan produces 90% of the world's most advanced semiconductors. A lot of Taiwan's exports to India consist of these advanced semiconductors, which have a role in everything from India's industry to Indian defense material. In a world where the PRC cuts off this type of export, then India would be in a untenable place with respect to its economy. And this would have impact far bigger than just the simple numbers of Taiwan and India trade would indicate. So very serious threat on the horizon if India had to face the PRC, which had already taken over Taiwan.
Thank you for that in-depth analysis. Also, with the growing Indo-Pacific, do you see the relevance of Taiwanese defense growing and partnership growing with India?
Yes, simply because the other scenarios, the defense scenarios where India would have to face the PLA alone would also be an immense threat to India itself. In a scenario where, for example, the US fought with the PRC and had to accept Taiwan's loss, then there would probably be an immense push within the US itself to redo isolationism. So then the PRC would be free to move most of its forces away from the areas facing Taiwan to instead the line of actual control. Right now, the PLA over there are relatively undermanned and also given older equipment. This would completely change, of course, with Taiwan's fall. And then you'd see a huge participation then by the PLA Air Force in being able to threaten the Indian border.
Thank you again for that in-depth and a very crisp and short analysis. Dear viewers, stay tuned for more such videos only on Katsadda.